How's it going?
Good, good, good. It's good to see you. We just got through a big snowstorm here in Colorado. How is it there
Yeah,
for you in Germany?
it was a good weekend. Not as windy or yeah, not as definitely no snow at this time of the year. But that's a conversation around climate change that we probably have to have as well.
It's crazy, crazy. We had almost 5 inches of snow here. It's crazy. But now, the moisture's good. There's branches broken down everywhere. But
Yeah,
anyways, it's good to see you. And I've been wanting to talk to you about something that comes up for me when we're doing our boot camps, right? And when we're
yeah,
having our little big fun sessions, with social change makers around the world. And it's always so fascinating to me how um, everybody seems to think first of all that they're going to ask for $50,000, that's what
hmm
they have to do. They got to write it, and they got to have page after page, and they got to have
hmm
like all this energy because they need to get a huge grant. And I'm curious about why you think that, like, where does that messaging come from? Because it's kind of unrealistic, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's one of those things that is almost like one of those myths that we're trying to kind of unpack a lot at Little Big Fund is this concept of starting big, or everything has to be big from get go. And I think in many ways the concept of Little Big Fund is to start small. And I think A, not only is it realistic, but I think B, it's probably more strategic to start with micro grants, and by starting to find these small supporters, as we call kind of the little big supporters that eventually will become your biggest ambassadors and supporters down the road. And I think like to further talk about why it comes from, I think it comes from a lot of the kind of conversation around entrepreneurship and what that means, right? People that you hear a lot about, and whether it's on social media, whether it's on, these articles that we oftentimes read, we hear a lot more conversation and a lot more resources around like large, large scale funding opportunities. And it feels like if you can jump to that space right away, then all of your problems are solved, because then you can pay yourself, you can pay a team, you can pay for everything that you've always wanted to. Your dream list is right there. And yet, oftentimes, what we've seen time and time again, with especially the most successful entrepreneurs, are people that really look for ways to make the most with the least. And I think that is the most important concept that we try to leave with in a lot of our classes is how can you maximize every resource? How can you be so lean in that first few months, first few years, so that eventually down the road, once you start having these opportunities and resources, you're well equipped to be able to manage that and deal with it. And I think that's a key piece of what we try to have a conversation around. But yeah, I know, Gail, like you've worked with a
Well,
lot of micro grants over the years, and what's your experience with this?
Well, I think you're right in that there's this notion that you got to ask for it big, and part of that notion comes from sort of the glitz and glamour and the thing, right? Ooh, I just got $50,000, so I must have this value, right? Which I think is unfortunate because the value is in the bootstrapping as well. The value is in the leveraging, right? The value is in knowing exactly how much it costs to have a motorcycle, because the motorcycle allows you to then go and deliver goods or deliver drugs or something. And I find that when we have these conversations and we ask these amazing people to start like bring it down, then they also start to see their budget making very differently. They think, oh wow, I got to be really clear. I got to know how much gas is for my motorcycle. I can't just say I'm going to buy gas. And so it helps them strategically from a business plan to be more practical in terms of how they're going to plan for their money. You get $50,000 and you might not even know what to do with it right away. So there's this other learning opportunity if you start with $1,000, $5,000, and you're really clear. I know exactly how I'm going to spend this. You're going to feel good about yourself, right? And you're going to be able to have more, I want to say, hands-on metrics, right, of what that money went for.
For sure. And I think, one of the recent workshops that we've delivered, and this is a session we've been doing for many years now, is this idea of, the wheel of fortune, and things come up, and if you keep your mind open to different ideas and opportunities, it's not always cash. And I think this idea that fundraising equals cash raising is
Right.
is this big thing that we're always trying to push against, because so often, especially in the earlier stages, you can get so much of operations and programmatic elements covered without even raising a single dollar. And we've seen entrepreneurs time and again take $340 and invest it in the most important thing, and then raise like thousands of dollars worth of other resources based off of $340 that actually made the project successful.
Right.
And that requires that entrepreneurial spirit. That means you're going out there, you're building relationship. That means you're accepting whatever comes your way and really working with it, right? We're really good at making lemonades, is what entrepreneurs do. And
Right.
I think having that spirit to do that, I think is very crucial as well. So yeah, this is an important conversation that we're having. And if you're watching this and if you're thinking, oh, I wish I could get that access to that $50,000 or that $20,000 or that $10,000 grant, if you're getting started and if you're starting to build a base, build a strong base with a strong group of people. And if that means starting small, that is perfectly okay. And it takes that time and it takes that patience to just keep investing, taking one step at a time. And then you're going to get to a place where then you can start applying for those bigger opportunities and grants as well. But yeah, great
Absolutely.
question, Gail. Thanks for asking.
Well, good to see you again as always. And I love
Yeah,
having these conversations, unpacking this important work that Little Big Fund is doing. And yeah, stay
yeah,
tuned.
we'll for sure. Stay tuned. We'll keep posting these on a weekly basis. So I hope we can follow along these conversations that Gail and I are having around fundraising, around building a venture, and many other topics in the future as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.